So it's the people who do not stand up for truth, who do not stand up for right and wrong, which comes from the Bible. They, and I was part of that, are responsible for that cheap types like Hitler or like Obama are come into power. I have seen the consequences of what happened. My parents couldn't even talk to us children anymore because the Nazis, the party, they tried to get information from the children who innocently give you away eventually. My father, for instance, was forbidden to listen to foreign radio. My father listened to Radio Beromünster, that was beside BBC 2, broadcast in German language. But what really after I looked at all these things, bothered me more than anything else, after having been part of the wrong side with my own, I was a liar, the Nazis lied, and I couldn't realize that I lied for personal reasons, they lied for political reasons. But I realized for myself that was this neutrality of morality, that made it possible. So what bothers me the most, we had not only the Nazis on German soil, we also had a communist state on our soil. And that was a communist, 100% communist. The bishops, the Protestant bishops of Eastern Germany, sent a letter to Honecker, who was the president, the general secretary of the Communist Party, and the president of East German state, DDR. They said, we as the bishops will teach our people how to be Christian in a socialist society. They should be thrown into hell immediately, because that is where Christians face not having a broad enough purpose. The people of the left know exactly what they want. They plan long time. In the West, we do have the Christian religion. And I'm so happy to hear our pastor here say what he said. You would never have been able to say that in Germany at that time. So what is missing, in my view, is purpose. And the purpose, and by purpose I mean a long-term object, and it must contain what is right and what is wrong, and it must contain everything anybody in the last country can handle. So I have my own thing after hearing your speakers here, the gentleman from South Africa. I think the faith, I was always puzzled here because people don't think about their government as to be Christians or doing according to the Bible. That was what brought Germany down. It was godlessness which brought Germany down. And have at the same time a personal faith which is convincing. So I really took me a long time to figure out what is it? What makes such good people so ineffective in the ideological warfare? And I think it's a purpose. We think about America, and we should. And we want to clean America, and we should. But it's not for the sake just for America. It's for the rest of the world who depend on America with their life. And when I call Germany, I break with my best friends because they adore Obama. Oh. I think in Europe you can count of 80% of the population thinks what the Germans thought about Hitler, or a big part of Germany before he came into power. My wife, Dina, who sits over there, comes from Peru, South America, and we lived 15 years in Mexico, and you go to get information from these countries, which speak for all the rest in the world. They are all against America. They are all for Obama, and they don't know what they are doing. And I can never understand, now I can understand it, but America should have, especially in Europe, promotion centers where they present their nation as it is, because they don't understand it. Now, I can't remember how long I've spoken and how much more time do I have. Well, let me say what I think about purpose. And because before you can have a purpose, you must know why. I grew up under the Nazis. The Nazi philosophy, the Nazi ideology, and the Nazi war were part of what I call the global ideological war for power, for the control of the world. The main battle was not what you think. The main battle was between the Soviets and the Nazis. Their competition. The Nazis were socialists like the communists. The title fascist for the Nazis is misleading. That was planned. There are no fascists. They are socialists. And they are come from the same root as Obama comes from the same root.
Yeah.
So it was this fascist business, which I hear from the most intelligent people, has the reason in that the two left ideology country Soviets, which are the same as for 30, 40, 50 years, and National Socialism, which is still alive, you won't believe it. Not in Germany, around the world, in America. And coming back to the war, the West, as usual until today, was leading a defensive war without thinking only, with thinking only in national terms. Mass murderer Stalin got Eastern Europe, and Eisenhower delivered to them Berlin.
Yeah, that's right.
Our leaders of today, and that is for the whole of the West, but America is the one which counts. Excluding Barack Obama, like the American people, do not know what our real enemies are and what the battleground is. We lose, they win. We are now in a situation in which we face the destruction of our freedom, our economy, and our sovereignty. Our foreign enemies and our enemies within have joined forces to bring us down to our knees. If they succeed, the world will glide into a socialist world and become part of a global totalitarian system. Yeah. And I won't see my children do the things we had to go through. The military and economic power of the United States so far has prevented that our totalitarian enemies, backed by a global left media and a number of greedy business leaders, can force the world their view on the rest of the world. I believe that it is the task of Barack Obama to destroy what is left of the American power with beautiful reasoning for what they do, which, however, are mostly lies. I also believe that it is the task of the Tea Party movement, and there are a lot of additional organizations, brotherhoods of patriots who want to be in the battle. And I have seen, for instance, in North